proud to be the official coffee of the Razorbacks. Summit Utilities, delivering natural gas to Razorback fans across Arkansas by Visit Hot Springs. Time for a road trip to Hot Springs, Arkansas. Learn more at hotsprings.org. By Bud Anderson, the official heating and cooling provider of the Razorbacks. By Kubota, for Earth, for Life. Harps, quality foods, hometown fresh. It's that simple at Harps. Arkansas Heart Hospital, dedicated to your heart. By Shelter Insurance. For award-winning service, find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. By Ballpark, the official hot dog of the Razorbacks. Edward Jones. Find a financial advisor near you at edwardjones.com. By Roller Funeral Homes. For 3 generations, the Razorback Nation has trusted the Roller family to serve yours. With all our respect. Modelo Especial, brewed for full-time Razorback fans. By Oaklawn Hot Springs, Arkansas's only casino resort. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, reliable, affordable, and responsible power. Your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Arkansas's Scholarship Lottery. This is winning. By Go-Go Squeeze. For active people, Go-Go Squeeze Active Fruit Blend with electrolytes can help replenish the essential minerals lost during exercise. By Greenway Equipment. Equipment that works as hard as you do. BASF. We create chemistry. By Fish City Grill. Friendly folks. Serious seafood. And by the Arkansas Department of Health. Quit tobacco. We can help. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Razorback Sports Network.
The atmosphere at Baum Walker is going to be electric. That's always the case. The Alloy brothers, as you mentioned, Charles Davalon, really have changed the look of this offense. They always pitch. This might be the most complete team in this NCAA tournament.
Right to left field, way up in the air. To the hop pen it goes. Out of here.
I could get rolling on that, but I'm going to leave that one alone.
He struck him out swinging. Wow. High fastball. Gaineswood strikes out the side in order.
This is Hog Reaction. ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app is live at the 2025 Fayetteville Regional this weekend.
At that time of year.
Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, helping you make sure you get the right coverage at the right price. Arvest Bank. Since 1961, Arvest Bank has been committed to its local communities. Arvest is ready to help. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Get game day ready at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Regional tees, jerseys, and bases loaded hats. 989 Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Go crazy at Baum Walker. Go nuts.
It's an electric environment, and it's so fun to play in. If I was a player, I would love to be a part of it.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. Don't forget about Hog Reaction after every Arkansas postseason baseball game.
And we welcome you in to Hog Reaction. Ty Richardson, Big C, Christian Johnson here the next hour and a half or so. Arkansas 6-2, the final over North Dakota State. Won the prettiest game. Got a little shaky starting pitching, but they kind of weathered, I'm not even going to call it a storm, maybe a light rain a little bit, and Arkansas advances to tomorrow night's game. It's either Creighton or Kansas. Our Lewis Automotive Group hotline is going to be open. I know a lot of you are going to be driving back from the game. You're staying in Northwest Arkansas. Maybe you're going back home. This might be one of those things where you guys and gals have a chance like, the fact that now we can go home, or maybe you're going to a hotel like the end of the mill around Northwest Arkansas. But I know a lot of you in your cars right now celebrating a win. Little uneasiness at first, Big C, but they got over the hump, and now Arkansas is moving on to this game at 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
First pitch of the game was a wild pitch.
Yeah, you text our group.
And that just kind of brought back memories of the softball super regional. But, they ended, North Dakota State ended up scoring in that inning. And I was like, I don't have a great feeling. But the fact that they were able to answer in the following inning, and it's a good thing we had Cam Kozel today.
Yeah,
because he did a lot of damage. 4 RBIs.
That's the reason he was the player of the game. He was absolutely fantastic. I want to say when we were talking about this morning, that was the guy that Tommy was speaking to. Almost had a cycle. I mean, I know Bubba was like, all right, come on, get that triple. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get it. And I say unfortunately, he had an awesome game today. But, Cam's the one that hit the inside the park home run in Hoover, and has been really, really good for you this season, and makes a couple good plays in this one. It was kind of like one of those games where kind of boring after the sixth inning. You had no runs, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
It became a pitch-in duel. They brought in their guy that pretty much shut it down, but luckily we had a 4-run lead at the time, so that could have been a lot worse for the Hogs, but that 4-run lead, offense wasn't great, but it was good enough. The pitching was what it needed to be. That was the big thing today, was come out and pitch well. The offense will take care of itself.
Yeah. So again, we'll have coverage tomorrow night beginning at 7. Christian and myself will have Arkansas game day here, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Arvest Bank, and Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley. Of course, Phil and Bubba will follow that with their broadcast, and then we will have Hog Reaction after the fact. What did you make? So Jimenez didn't have his best day, but Parker Coyle comes in, has a really, I thought just a really productive day pitching. 3 1/3 innings pitched, only gave up 3 hits in that game. Has one of the just has a really good ERA on the season. And then Landon Beidle comes in and closes the door.
Defense was solid today.
Defense didn't have a lot of plays during that game. You're like, man, what are we doing? I know there was a few of those that would happen in Hoover. I'm really curious. Christian, when we get done here, I'm gonna watch the Kansas and Creighton game, and I kind of want to get a sense of what Arkansas's walking into, because I think a lot of us, I'm going to guess you as a listener, are like me and Big C. Like, I haven't watched a second of Jayhawk baseball. I haven't watched a second of Creighton baseball. I know kind of the things I've read on the teams. Kansas is hot. Creighton's playing for their coach in his final season, final few games here in Fayetteville potentially. But I wouldn't say, man, you can get a better sense of who the team is that you'll be playing tomorrow night.
We've owned Kansas, so I kind of hope we play them. But in baseball, I just don't. I know they have a good record. They've got over 40 wins, but man, I just don't see a world. I don't want to say it. I don't want to jinx it. But anyway, I'm glad we won tonight. You can relax. You can check some other games across the country. Maybe root for some upsets. Try to make your path a little easier, but you got to go 1-0. That's what we did today. And you can excel a little bit and wait about a little over 24 hours before you got to go back out there.
I will say the attendance and I don't know how many times they've both been. I know Mr. Howard has been to a few games, but the attendance of Phil's parents, Mr. Howard and Mrs. Robin, want to know, at least in the postseason this year. So maybe we need them the rest of the way. Maybe Phil, you need to convince the parents to stay the rest of the weekend. I want to get in. You mentioned some scores. I want to get into some scores coming up. We've got some Dave Van Horn audio for you, and also some plays from the game. What was the big moment for you? I think a lot of you would say Kojal's home run. I think
there's some good moments on defense and a good pitching.
Mm-hmm. It's never going to get recognized as much as a huge home run or a big bomb or a grand slam or like that. But you're exactly right. So again, defensively, it only is a big deal when there's an issue, like when there's a major error or something that causes the team to not get out of an inning. But we're going to discuss all that again. A lot to get to here on Hog Reaction, presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Arvest Bank, and the Stadium Shop on Razorback. We're going to hear from your head baseball coach when we come back.
Here's my stuff. Try to hit it, I got the best defense behind me. So
5 strikeouts out of 6 batters for the Batesville right-hander.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Arvest Bank, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Aline Crabtree, family-owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPATRS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Superior Siding and Windows have been improving homes in Fort Smith and the River Valley for over 44 years. Whether your need is siding, vinyl windows, doors, or gutters, Superior Siding is the one to call if you want it done right the first time. Call 479-646-7888 for a free estimate. 100% financing is available, and Superior Siding has AAA rating with Better Business Bureau. Superior Siding, your first call, 479-646-7888.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith now has meal deals starting at $9.99, which includes an entree, side, and fountain drink. Try their delicious 6-ounce sirloin served with seasoned fries for $15.99. The Bacon Ranch Chicken Sandwich with seasoned fries, $11.99. Chicken Caesar Salad for $10.99 and more. Their meal deals also include tasty chicken fettuccine Alfredo served with garlic breadsticks for $12.99 and a cheeseburger with seasoned fries for only $9.99. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in supporting growing communities. That's why we're committed to putting home ownership within reach. Whether it's your first home, a fixer-upper, or your forever home, we have a variety of loan options to help make your dream home a reality. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe. Equal housing lender.
It's almost summertime. That means barbecues, graduations, weddings, and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Twisted ankle, sore shoulder? Ozark Orthopedics has you covered whenever and wherever you need orthopedic care. Stop by Orthopedic Urgent Cares in Bentonville and Fayetteville. Open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with no appointment needed. Or download the Hertz app, a free tool that immediately connects you with an orthopedic injury expert 24/7, 365. Don't let pain slow you down. Visit ozark-ortho.com for more info and get back to the activities you love.
For 38 years, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle's needs. Keep draining your battery? Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep of your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. That's Mansfield Automotive, Park City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield, open from 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday until 1 o'clock on Saturdays.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Our Best Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
0-1 to Federico. Grounded right at first base. Played up on the grass by Robinette. Does a pirouette. Throws a strike to second. The Loys return, and Gackle's there. Rack him up. Perfect. 3-6-1 double play.
This is Hog Reaction.
Thought our defense was outstanding, and Brent made another really nice play to his left. It was really good to see Ryder throw the ball the way he did. The defense was outstanding.
Dave Van Horn, very complimentary. Brent Iredale and Ryder Helfrich after the game. Christian, you were complimenting the defense and the fielding from Arkansas all day. Again, 6-2, the final in this one. There weren't there were some errors in the Ole Miss game in Hoover. You were just kind of confused by it because you're not used to seeing that from a Dave Van Horn coach middle infield, and didn't really see that today.
I think the mental part of the baseball is so important. It's not like they didn't want to win, but the players knew in Hoover that honestly that the stakes in that tournament are pretty much zero. I mean, you can say it's good to win just for momentum purposes, but that's not always the case. You can win it and still lose in your regional. So I'm glad the defense came to play today. Brent Iredale, that play he made, if he was like maybe a couple inches shorter, he probably didn't make that play. And North Dakota State scores a run and takes the lead, and who knows how this game goes. But, that was a big play. The Helfrichs.
It's nice for those that are blessed with height. Right?
Oh, I know
Big
it.
C.
Yeah, and the Helfrich throwdowns to second were good, and he cut down the runners, didn't let them take an extra 90 feet on them. So just all around fundamentally good game. The bats weren't rolling, but when you're pitching well and playing good defense, you don't really have to score a ton of runs to win.
Text from B.E. in Clarksville here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Relatively quick game today. I mean, we're starting the post game at 5:30, or a little before 5:30. I was thinking we'd probably start this thing about 6 or so, but yeah, I'd agree with you. It was pretty short and sweet. Arkansas again took care of business. No runs scored in innings 6 through 9. You didn't have a full both innings, and I say a full inning in 9 because you didn't have the top, you didn't have the bottom. So that was a situation where Arkansas again, being the home team, had that advantage, and you walk away with a 6-2 victory, and will await your opponent, either the Kansas Jayhawks or the Creighton Blue Jays tomorrow night. We've talked to kind of the dynamics within the team right now and the setup and everything. I mean, you look at the rest of the Southeastern Conference. I know Phil and them were talking a little bit about what's going on in the league. So we have some finals already. Arkansas, like we know, won 6-2. Eastern Carolina. How about the Conway Regional? 11-6 win over the Florida Gators. I think a lot of people would pick Florida to come out of that regional.
Still do it? I think they can. I think they kind of turned it on a little bit late. They were definitely hitting the mouth. They were down 10-2 at one point, but ECU's is good, but I don't know if they've really got the pitching. But they're in really good shape right now. Florida's going to really have to play well to win that regional.
If I remember, I think Derek and I were talking about this week when discussions like, hey, if you lose either the first game or you lose the initial game on Saturday and you have to go through the loser bracket, I think Florida was one of those teams to come out despite putting themselves in a more difficult and a tougher situation. So they find themselves in that once again. We'll see if they lose tomorrow in Conway, South Carolina, or if they're able to move on.
North Carolina wasn't very impressive. They won 4-0, and right now, Ty, it's very early. Wright State's up 2-0 on Vandy, but we're only in the bottom of the second there. And then another interesting game that's almost final: Miami and Alabama. I wasn't really sure how that one would turn out. I thought Alabama would win, but they're on the ropes right now.
Yep, 5-3, bottom of the ninth, as the Alabama Crimson Tide trail in that one. Georgia pretty much is going to win this one handily over Binghamton.
I don't know how to say that. I've never heard of them. Binghamton?
Yeah, you said it right. Binghamton, 17-2 in the bottom of the eighth. You mentioned again, Wright State up currently on Vanderbilt in Nashville, 2-0, and then Little Rock and LSU go Trojans. 0-0, nothing. The top of the first right now. Other outcomes in the Southeastern Conference: Texas beats Houston Christian 7-1 in Austin, and then West Virginia takes the first game against Kentucky 4-3. So those are some outcomes that have happened in the Southeastern Conference, some outcomes that have started. I wonder, so the SEC basketball, my whole thought, this doesn't make it correct. A lot of things I say are in y'all's mind are not necessarily not true, but you don't agree with them. But I held the belief that you can't call SEC basketball a successful season despite all the NCAA tournament teams and everything else, non-conference, unless they won a national championship. Well, Florida won's a national championship, first team to do it since 2012. I know Alabama went to a Final Four recently. Last year, Auburn goes back in 2019, but the SEC needed to get over the hump. I think the clear expectation for the SEC, we heard Mike Rooney talking about this, Big C, on Thursday, just in the Southeastern Conference. Hey, do you take the SEC or the field? Here's what Mike Rooney of D1 Baseball and ESPN said.
I think it's not on here anymore. Sorry.
Okay, did you delete it? Okay.
I didn't. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where there's 13 teams right now in the SEC that have made the College World Series. And a lot of them are favorites. Arkansas, of course, is the betting favorite of all of college baseball to continue on the streak of them making, and not just making, of the SEC winning. What's crazy to me is I didn't know this until Mike brought this up on Thursday. Not only has the SEC won every national championship since 2019, and the majority of them before that, they've at least been in like the College World Series final and just gotten close. But the SEC has been represented. I know Oklahoma being a part of it, technically now an SEC team, but the SEC has been represented by two teams every year since you didn't have a season in 2020, but you got to go all the way back to 2019 when Michigan was involved. So it's not just the SEC team winning, it's the runner-up that's an SEC team as well, which is pretty phenomenal. Here's again what Mike Rooney had to say about that earlier this week.
We haven't had a non-SEC team in the CWS finals since Michigan in 2019. Like, the league has got the finals blockaded off for the rest of college baseball. So, until further notice, give me the SEC.
I think a lot of people feel that way. And hopefully it's a team in Cardinal and white that ends up doing this whole thing in Omaha, Nebraska, which is includes, it's kind of weird. I like it, actually, because I think it's better than some setups in the national championship. The College World Series final, I know we're ways off from that, but it's the 21st, the 22nd, and the 23rd. It's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You'd love to close that thing out on Sunday if Arkansas got there. But again, ways off from that. You just got game one, 6-2, and hopefully they can continue on tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Kind of late. I mean, Christian, I was thinking about this. Like, when I saw those initial game times in the press release, I was like, I just kind of looked at it. It's like, man, they're going to play late into the night on Saturday and Sunday. And that this thing has. I mean, we've seen Arkansas play Missouri State past 1 in the morning. Florida, I think, if I remember correctly, in the SEC tournament back in 2015, which Arkansas came back and won. That went to like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I guess I shouldn't be. Arkansas fans to a certain degree are accustomed to some crazy games, but who knows? It could get wacky and wild tomorrow night in Baum-Walker Stadium.
There's been some crazy postseason games at night at Baum-Walker Stadium. You think about some of the high-stress games, they've all been at night, and Arkansas's won more than they've lost at night. So I'm okay with it. I think the fans will be pre-gamed up, and it's going to be a crazy atmosphere. I think of the Charlie Welch home run. I think of the Missouri State games back in the day, and just some nice games played late at night, and it gives you kind of all day to kind of get ready for the game mentally and just watch other games, and you've got your whole day ahead of you.
Speaking of the mental aspect, we had a chance to catch up with James Teague at the T Law Firm earlier on halftime today, and James was a part of that 2015 team that went to Stillwater, won in Stillwater, and then came back here because Missouri State's minor league park was being utilized by their minor league team where they play, so they couldn't play. And it was just like and I asked him, I was like, all right, when you go to Stillwater and the tensions are high for Oklahoma State because they're expected to win, and you're at least from a seeding standpoint perceived to be the lesser team, and they just got tense a little bit. And I was wondering as the game progressed and Arkansas was in a rut early, I was like, is it gonna get rut? But then, as we talked about, when you had that play from Cam Koziel and that home run, that really just kind of opened things up a little bit. Now, Phil, in Bubba addressed it on the broadcast. This game was not, you never felt like, man, they're just going to slaughter this team. Give North Dakota State credit. Yeah. They kept it within at least a fighting distance. Now, they didn't do anything with it, didn't score any runs from inning 6 to 9, but at least they battled.
When they hit that home run to make it 2-2, I was a little worried because you could kind of see maybe the momentum kind of shifting. Okay, this guy just went yard, and they don't hit a lot of home runs. So it just kind of felt like things could get out of hand there, but everybody stayed calm and just kept pitching.
JT and Laurel, Mississippi, on the Lewis Automotive Group text line. Glad we only threw 3 arms. Hopefully the backs wake up a little more tomorrow after Kojal hit that home run today, but he still feels that game was a little too close for comfort.
Well, you just want to win that first game.
And that's it. And that's where I was going to go with that. I mean, ask Kentucky fans, ask Florida fans. Like, do you think they'd rather win a little closer than they wanted to, or do you think they want to be down and have to go through the losers bracket of the regional? Now, Arkansas being one of the best teams in college baseball, you expect to win a game like this, regardless of what the opponent is or not. And you expect to win tomorrow night. Now, you may be a little antsy, a little nervous, but this team should win tomorrow night.
I think there's going to be a little – I think that the pressure kind of goes off a little bit after the first game because you've got a game under your belt. And, I mean, you're just – they're not rusty anymore. They've played a game, and you would just assume the bats would be a little bit better. That was a good pitcher they faced today. And what was it, the pitcher of the year and the what conference are they in?
Summit League.
The Summit League pitcher of the year.
Nolan Johnson, who gave them 5 innings, and Arkansas was able to deem him around a little bit later on with 8 hits. But I love listening to Bubba and Phil during this broadcast. And I think this was the first game this season I've just listened from start to finish, full broadcast. I didn't watch any of it. I just listened to Bubba and Phil because they describe it so great. And one of the things that I heard Bubba as a professional hitter and a guy that knows a thing or two about it is it was like it was where they were anticipating the changeup at times, and he'd zing a fastball by him. And that's like with such a wonky Bugs Bunny, as Coach Dave Van Horde called it. Sometimes you just can't get bat to the ball on it. In Arkansas, it's not like they just couldn't hit anything. They ended up with 9 hits today. Yeah. But I think you expect moving forward Arkansas to have a little more success.
The approach today by Arkansas was the key to the game. They didn't chase a bunch of pitches because, North Dakota State pitcher made some good pitches, but they were balls. And, you start taking those pitches and the pitcher gets frustrated a little bit, maybe loses a little bit of command, and then you're sitting fastball. It's just, Arkansas did a good job today. They didn't try to, hit every pitch that was thrown.
I was kind of curious. You went lefty, lefty, lefty. Jimenez, Coyle, Beidelshees.
Yeah.
Well,
they have a lot of. I think they have a lot of lefties in their lineup.
And they do, and that seemed to be the strategy. And again, Arkansas gets a victory in game number 1. Another final that just occurred. We were talking about Miami and Alabama. The U has defeated the Crimson Tide 5-3. So Alabama drops the first game in their regional. We'll talk more. We'll keep giving you updates with college baseball. We might mix in a few football, basketball topics as well. Again, Cal was with the team yesterday. We might talk about, I got a text earlier in the show, during the game, that Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff were at the game. I know there's a lot of excitement surrounding those 2 freshman phenoms, as well as former Springdale Bulldog Isaiah Sealy. And I saw that Springdale, I think, hired their head basketball coach as well. We continue on. Hog Reaction next, sponsored by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Our Best Bank, and the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Here's my stuff. Try to hit it, I got the best defense behind me. So
5 strikeouts out of 6 batters for the Batesville right-hander.
You're listening to Hog Reaction.
Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Our Best Bank, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
At Our Best Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of our communities. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want to help you thrive. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank, we believe.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Do you want to be home every weekend, use brand new equipment, and make a competitive salary? Then let me tell you about Livorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, call 479-646-4685. That's 646-4685. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Livorne, Lovvorn lumber.com. Livorne Lumber. Paying the bills, we'll take care of you.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Ty Richardson for Eastside Liquor, your number one stop for the Hogs Run to Omaha. Every watch party, every event, they can take care of you at Eastside Liquor. Need your favorite beer or seltzer for the Hog Pen? They've got it all at Eastside Liquor. Stop by and see Dave and his team at 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Did I mention it's lake season 2? Regardless of the lake that you spend your summer, the only place you gotta stop before is Eastside Liquor.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Our Best Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
0-1 to Federico. Grounded right at first base. Played up on the grass by Robinette. Does a pirouette. Throws a strike to second. The Loys return and Gackles there. Rack him up. Perfect 3-6-1 double play.
This is Hog Reaction.
Slider hit high in the air, right field and deep. Back it goes to the wall. Out of here. Kozel's hit a 2-run homer. Asking you shall receive.
That was a slider. Cuello sees a lot of pitches, and that's kind of fun to hit behind. And he's a great hitter, too. And I think I can bounce ideas around with Davalon and Maxwell a lot. Two really good left-handed hitters. But just seeing the ball in the pitcher's hand, make it feel like slow motion.
That's, again, Cammy Kozel, who hit that, not just the home run there, but had 3 hits in Arkansas 6-2 victory over North Dakota State. Hey, quick correction, and I need to apologize for what I said earlier. I meant to say back-to-back lefties instead of all 3. Aiden, that thankfully Clay Henry, who's not just a a great radio contributor here on ESPN Arkansas and the features editor of Whole Hog Sports, is listening. Does not mind correcting me. I need to be corrected often. So continuing on that, Cam, I know Clay's written about him, talked to him. I was cracking up. Did you hear him in the postgame talking with Bubba? Bubba asked him, he was like, so do you look up like on the weather app for the wind or whatever and for hidden? And he's like, nah, but I look at it for fishing.
Yeah. Yeah,
this is like the classic. Like, I remember Traylon Burks, like listening to Traylon Burks anytime he did an interview or anything like that. That guy just wanted to hunt, fish, and he was good at football. I think he likes football. And Cam's kind of the same way. Cam likes baseball, and I can't remember if he's a big hunter too, but I know he likes to fish. They're in that same kind of mindset.
This is the most laid back, unique team we've ever had. I think you've got the Hawaiian, spirit going, and then you got Cam Kozel who likes to fish. I mean, you got the Canadians, the Australians. It's just, and they're all, they all are really talented and like they enjoy playing and they're really confident out there. And this, like, a lot of people have said it that, this is the best team Dave has had. And Dave even said it,
You've heard Mike Rooney on the selection show say it. Todd Walker said it on the SEC network. Kyle Peterson, who's like the Herbie and Billis of college baseball, said it. You've got multiple other baseball analysts. I mean, I've seen what Kendall Rogers has written, Aaron Fitt, and others that are saying about this baseball team, and now they just got to go out and do it. It's easier said than done, but there's a lot of people out there that think this baseball team has a chance not only to get to Omaha, Nebraska, but obviously Vegas thinks that they have a chance to win the whole stinking thing. Update, Vanderbilt now down 3-0 in Nashville to Wright State. Texting from Reed here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline that they are getting their butts hammered right now.
If you're an Arkansas fan, you obviously don't want to look ahead, but any of those teams that can get eliminated.
Clay just texted me. Apparently, Camden also loves to hunt as well.
Oh.
He's a big duck hunter and a deer hunter too. So he's one of us.
And he can hit the baseball.
And he can hit the baseball and do a bunch of other things here on that baseball field. All right, so we're getting text here. Haven't got our first call yet. Who's going to be the first? 877-377-6963. I know we got a lot of people listening because I'm looking at the numbers right now. We're getting a lot of text. Haven't gotten that first call yet. So if you want to be that first one, jump in here. 877-377-6963. Again, keeping you updated also on some SEC news as well. If you missed it earlier, Alabama falls to Miami 5-3. East Carolina beats Florida 11-6. Texas beats Houston Christian 7-1. And then West Virginia beats Kentucky 4-3.
They may not get a game in Baton Rouge.
Is it raining still?
Well, it's still saying delayed.
That's how it was. When we went down there, it was, I guess the game 9:57. I think it was supposed to start at 6:30. Didn't start till 9:57.
Well, we know they'll play late, but man, in a regional, and there's still another game, I believe, to be played. Like I don't even think they've played a game in Baton Rouge.
Jeez. All right, so you brought up the Hawaii connection. It was really cool. So we're at the stadium shop earlier. Appreciate Robert and Elizabeth and Matthew having us out there. Again, they're doing the buy one, get one regular price clothing items. The second one, half off. Hats too, jerseys, the whole thing. Stop by and see them this weekend. It's the best place to get all your Razorback gear. And so we see this team start strolling over, and Phil's right next to me. I'm like, Phil, that's the Hawaii baseball team that came in,
that's cool.
I need to get some clarification on this.
Bash Brothers, is that what you called them?
Yeah, well, they've got Bash Brother hats, and it's got the A with an Arkansas insignia, like just the classic Arkansas baseball A. They're of course cheering on Bahiba and Cahillo being here and having both of them having great seasons for Arkansas baseball.
That was a big hit, man, from in the first inning by Wahiwa, man.
But it was just a cool moment, and I'd seen the picture of them outside of the hog pen, but for all of them to come over, Phil introduced himself to them, and there was a bunch of coaches there as well. And I was talking to these kids. These kids can be more than 13, 14 years old. They're asking me if I've ever been to Hawaii. I'm like, no. And they're giving me all these different things that I need to try. Hey, you need to try the mac salad. You need to try this, that, and beyond. And I should have been writing stuff down because I'm going to be honest, I don't remember a ton of it. You got this little rivalry, this rivalry going on like between Maui and one of the other islands that the kid was from. So it was really unique. And I asked him, I was like, so is this all y'all's first game? And they're like, yep, first time here. And I was like, you guys could not have picked a better weekend. So I hope all those kids, all those coaches that came to watch not just Vahivo Loy and Kahio Loy, but the rest of this Arkansas baseball team.
How could they not choose Arkansas, right? If they turn out to be anything close to Kahia and Wahila Loy, man, we've adopted them.
Exactly. And it was just cool because that is like the purest. Like, think about when you were a kid, girl, boy, it really doesn't matter. And you're like 13, 14 years old, and you're watching either someone you idolize from your hometown, case of home state. Like for me, it was Matt Jones and Darren McFadden. Lucky to work with Matt each and every day. Got to meet Darren before. Nice guy. And it's just like, it is like one of those cool things in that time period to experience that. Some of my favorite memories were in like middle school, watching Arkansas football and basketball and just being a part of some of the best finishes in recent years in Razorback history. So I hope those kids have a great weekend, and hopefully if you see them, stop by and say, or at least tell them that hopefully have a good weekend.
Chris Lanzilli
he was
stopped by the stadium shop.
He did, yes. He got a former Razorback that's in town, I guess, watching the game, which is cool. What was the other? Oh, I mentioned Malik Thomas and Darius Akov, the two of the three freshmen signees with this Arkansas basketball team. Cal posted a picture of them. Daly's got his trailer, or his RV, his RV parked at Rohab Park. So there are a lot of people in town this weekend, and hopefully that the ones that got to attend today's game. I don't know what it's going to look like tonight, Christian, here in about an hour when Kansas takes on Creighton.
Yeah, I would imagine there's some Arkansas fans there just watching.
I think the cool thing about Arkansas fans, what I picked up, and there's a group, Jeff Hodges, our buddy over at Foghorns, Brownie. There's a group that goes to Omaha. There's some other Arkansas fans that go every year. It's good little, like, you've got little groups that will just, regardless if Arkansas is involved or not, they'll just go to Omaha. Arkansas fans love baseball. This is a huge Cardinal state. I know that from not just Chuck, but so many others.
If Arkansas would have lost today, there still would have been,
Yeah, the fans would have still stayed, and hopefully they would have been
been mad.
Yeah, they would have been scouting the next opponent. But that is something, again, we've talked about how softball has grown in this state, but Coach Norm DeBryan would tell you how much baseball has grown in this state. By the way, I saw the clip that Hogs Plus, and I'm forgetting the title of the movie or short series that they're putting out, the 85 baseball team that got almost all the way to the College World Series final. But Norm DeBryan, as a young guy, I'd never heard him or seen him, what he looked like when he was younger. It was just kind of a cool thing to see on social media today. But yeah, there's a lot of good baseball things going on right now. Again, in the midst of the regional, I have not taken full and fully gotten into squeeze play. Have you? Have you locked in at squeeze play? For those that don't know, is like
like red zone.
Yeah, it's red zone. It's the quad box. It's like kind of all that the best parts of it combined, and you've got these different baseball games. And baseball we know, unless you're watching Arkansas, it can get a little dull. It can get a little dry at times, and this is just a way for to snap to the action. And this is the weekend to take advantage of it, Big C.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This is probably a little similar to March Madness. It's not going to be, quite as exciting because most people don't see baseball quite as exciting, just the way it's played, the pace it's played at. But this is the next best thing because, man, I tell you what, you're watching all these teams and you're pulling for upsets. It's kind of the same thing as March Madness. Upsets are what kind of make this tournament the way it is. You just hope it's not your team that gets upset.
Wes in Springdale wants to know if we're doing shots on Dixon tonight. Wes, I don't think me and Big C will be out on Dixon Street, but you should enjoy yourself after that win. I would go out and enjoy yourself.
If they win it all, I would definitely be doing shots.
Yeah, that will be the That will be a show that I'll actually do hungover on either Monday or Sunday. And I say that, like, Chuck, I remember when Chuck was talking about 94 and that basketball team. It's like you kind of want to remember every single moment, every single little detail within that. And so it's like I might take the Chuck approach, because I remember where I was when I was doing 2018. Arkansas was lucky to get back to the College World Series in 2019.
That's a time you don't want to remember.
Yeah, there are elements that you almost had it, and it's 22. The 22 team is not as good as the 85 team, but if you like,
they were hot.
Yeah, kind of how like they lost, and it wasn't, they didn't let a lead slip 3 years ago. But to be as close as they were to get back to the finals,
they would have beat Oklahoma, I think.
Oh, they would have smashed.
Even though the pitching wasn't set up great for Arkansas, but I just think the momentum would have. I think Connor pitched in that final game against, and he pitched it. I need to hold on. I don't give Connor enough credit for that season he had 3 years ago, and he needs to be mentioned. Usually when I talk about aces, of course, Hagan, most recent. Talk about Zayday. We talk about B Knight, Blay Knight. But the season that Connor O'Nolan had, especially the postseason, it's hard to win when you don't score.
Yeah, they were not able to, unfortunately, in that Ole Miss game. All right, Wes, enjoy those shots. Hopefully you get some now. We're going to take a break. Again, this is Hog Reaction presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley. He is your insurance agent in the Fort Smith and surrounding areas. He's got your coverage at the right price. Call him 479-646-6792 or email him at cdooley@shelterinsurance.com. By Arvest Bank. Since 1961, Arvest Bank has committed to its local communities. They're ready to help you. Arvest Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by where we were earlier today, the Stadium Shop on Razorback. I told Robert, told Elizabeth, like, hey, hope to see you next weekend. Well, a lot of you are still going to be around this weekend in Northwest Arkansas, in Fayetteville. You can always go to shoponrazorback.com, SHOPPE on razorback.com, or come by and see them. Just steps, like 2 or 3 minutes away from Bob Walker Stadium at 989 Razorback Road. They've got everything you need, baseball jerseys, T-shirts, and here's the best part. Buy one regular price clothing item, you'll get the second one of equal or lesser value half off. Hats included too. Stadium Shop on Razorback, the beer hats, and everything you need. Hog Reaction rolls on next.
Here's my stuff. Try to hit it, I got the best defense behind me. So
5 strikeouts out of 6 batters for the Batesville right-hander.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Our Best Bank, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by EJ and Aline Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
It's almost summertime. That means barbecues, graduations, weddings, and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Young Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky Rigging, the 5-inch model, can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Big changes are coming. In order to serve you better, Metters Lumber is joining Ace Hardware. We will remain locally owned and operated so you can expect the same great service, but with lower pricing and better selection. We'll have exciting new brands to serve more of your needs. Come by and check out our deeply discounted merchandise as we make room for new products at Metters Lumber Company in Alma, Ozark in Clarksville.
Injuries don't wait for an appointment, so why should you? Ozark Orthopedics is here with expert orthopedic care whenever and wherever you need it. Visit Orthopedic Urgent Cares in Bentonville and Fayetteville. Open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. No appointment necessary. Need immediate care? Download the Hurt app, a 100% free tool connecting you to an orthopedic injury expert anytime, anywhere. Ozark Orthopedics, getting you back to the activities you love. Learn more at ozark-ortho.com.
Superior Siding and Windows have been improving homes in Fort Smith and the River Valley for over 44 years. Whether your need is siding, vinyl windows, doors, or gutters, Superior Siding is the one to call if you want it done right the first time. Call 479-646-7888 for a free estimate. 100% financing is available, and Superior Siding has AAA rating with Better Business Bureau. Superior Siding, your first call, 479-646-7888.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off, or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Listening to Hog Reaction. Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Our Best Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
0-1 to Federico. Grounded right at first base. Played up on the grass by Robinette. Does a pirouette. Throws a strike to second. The Loys return and Gackles there. Rack him up. Perfect. 3-6-1 double play.
This is Hog Reaction.
Do you plan to play matchups tomorrow, depending on who it is, or do you know who your starter might be?
I know who it might be, yeah. Can we wait till after the game and I'll give you a call? You got my number, right? You do. I know you do. Yeah, after the game. Let's see who wins. I may be asleep by then, but who knows? But
props to Tom Murphy, our friend who you can hear on the Morning Rush every Tuesday and Thursday for asking that question. Tom, of course, writes with Whole Hog Sports in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Kind of depends, right? Like Dave said, you don't know who you're playing.
It could be, matchup situation. Kansas and Creighton, first pitch in about 45 minutes from now at Baum-Walker Stadium. Some of you will stay. Some of you will find something else to do on a Friday night. But it is, I think it's going to be Root. I'd be surprised if we saw anyone else except for Zach Root tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Maybe he mixes it up. I don't know how many he expected Minez to come out and start for when he said that on, what was it, Wednesday or Thursday? It was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. I think I was a little surprised by that. But listen, they're looking at all these things. I know what he had said. What he did say in the press conference is like, "Hey, we're getting him ready to be a star in the postseason.
I
So
bet it's Root too.
you think it's Root? So it wasn't one of those things from DBH and Hobbs that they were like, all right, let's see how he's a starter in this game. They've been preparing him to get to this moment, but don't know the starter just yet. We'll get that email later on tonight. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be late following the following the Kansas and Creighton game, and then we'll of course be chatting about it here at about 7:00 tomorrow night as we prepare on Arkansas game day for either the Razorbacks versus the Jayhawks or the Razorbacks versus the Blue Jays. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open 877-377-6963 if you want to get in here with Big C and myself. Big C, you were talking about TCU did not have a good first game in their regional.
Every time I see them in postseason, my mind just goes back to when they came to Fayetteville and just were bashing the baseball, but that is not the case this year, at least in their first game. 13-1. The USC Trojans, not typically a great team, and when it comes to baseball, but has a little bit of history there. But man, 13-1, pretty impressive there.
All right, so games going on right now in the Southeastern Conference, and I wouldn't hate, and I usually don't root for USC, but I wouldn't hate to see if TCU lost that game. Wright State still up on Vandy in Nashville, 3-0.
It's in the fifth.
Like you said, the LSU and Trojans game still delayed. Top of the first, Miami of Ohio at Tennessee. That's 0-0. Later on tonight, Mississippi State will be at Northeastern. I say at Northeastern. Play Northeastern. Nebraska against Oklahoma. Central Connecticut against Auburn. And then Murray State against Ole Miss. Those are the games later on in the Southeastern Conference. I really hope that Murray State.
Yeah, I would like to see that. There's a lot of teams I would like to lose, and a lot of them are in the SEC.
Yeah,
I will say.
Nebraska and Oklahoma. What was that? The old
that's an old football.
Big Eight, right? Yeah. I think that's right.
That might be the most intriguing from a matchup standpoint.
Because Nebraska and Oklahoma played football and it was pretty intense. So that might be something. You got some old heads getting together and a little excited about a baseball matchup. I was talking my buddy Tyler McComas, who does sports radio in Norman. Oklahoma doesn't necessarily. I mean, you've got football, OKC basketball, and Oklahoma softball, but they've had a pretty decent baseball program. They've had a good baseball program this year. Like you mentioned earlier, went to the College World Series final 3 years ago. Man, I wish Arkansas was there. But Ole Miss beat you fair and square, and now they're the College World Series champion. I can't imagine that streak breaking where the SEC doesn't win. I know I'm so fixated on what this conference does, and I'm not going to pretend to tell you that I can tell you, like in football or basketball, a bunch of other teams, a bunch of other coaches and what they bring to the table. I do know that, like, if I'm Tennessee and I see Wake Forest in my regional, I'm a little worried about that. There's plenty of other SEC teams that have to deal with stuff, including Arkansas.
Cincinnati beat Wake Forest.
Did they really?
Yeah, Cincinnati might be the team the team that kind of gives Tennessee makes them earn it there in Knoxville.
Didn't even I just assume. I know that's Matt Hobbs' old stomping ground and Wake Forest former.
I thought it would be Wake Forest too, but
because they've had good teams, number one overall seeds, really good pitching over the years, but that's a shocker to me. Hey, that's why you need squeeze play. That's why I guess I should have been watching squeeze play later on. Is there any other notable outcomes today, Christian? You mentioned TCU, just brought up the Cincinnati scores. Is there any? We mentioned all the SEC ones. Is there any other of note that you think would be intriguing to our listeners here on ESPN Arkansas?
Nothing final, but Florida State, number 9 team overall. They're winning 5-2 over Bethune-Cookman. UCLA beating Fresno State. They're number 15 overall, 19-4. UCLA is probably a team that will end up in Omaha. Just based on years past, they're a pretty good baseball school. And, you got Auburn and Central Connecticut. Isn't that the team that came to Fayetteville?
That would be it should be the New Jersey Institute of Technology, NJIT. I'm 99% sure.
Yeah, that's right. They're in a delay right now. There's a couple. Coastal Carolina is also in a delay with Fairfield. But as far as results go, I mean, not really nothing final that would make you go wow.
Nothing shocking thus far.
No.
Okay. We got a text here. Again, Lewis Automotive Group hotline open, 877-377-6963, asking about the LSU score. Well, the LSU game has not started just yet, 4-7-9. So we'll have to wait and see. Come on, Trojans. Get it done tonight. Go in Alex Box and shock the world. Shock the college baseball world, Coach Curry. Get that thing done later on tonight. Also asking about the Phoenix Open tickets that go on sale. We bought ours 479 like a month out. I will say that was the Waste Management Open was one of the coolest experiences. Like it felt like a college football type of atmosphere that Friday morning. It was unbelievable being out there at 4 a.m. and experiencing everything that comes with that. We're getting some text. I'm assuming they're Ruskin and Zach leftovers because we're occasionally getting a text that I'm looking at. It's like I don't know what this is. It's a little odd, so I'm gonna assume it's a something Ruskin and Zach related here at 6:19 on a Friday night. What are we doing this weekend outside of watching Arkansas baseball tomorrow night at 8:00?
Man,
we got pregame at 7 tomorrow.
We got pregame at 7. We got postgame, obviously, after the game. I'm going to watch some baseball. Got a remote. Just kind of
dog. You walking your dog this weekend?
Oh yeah, man. That's about a 3 or 4 time a day thing because he's got so much energy.
Okay. Let's see. Doug in Mountain Home.
It's his world. I'm just living in it.
They say the same thing about text for you. LOL. Yeah, Doug. They occasionally is a text about me or two. Well, hopefully there's some. It looks like good weather across the state. We were worried. Tommy and I were worried this week. It's like, man, are they gonna have to move games around? Blah blah blah. But if you look in Fayetteville,
it's a great weekend to be at the ballpark.
It's a good weekend. Yeah, great weekend to be at the ballpark. It's like high of 78. High of 78 on May the 31st tomorrow. I mean, can you ask? Bill opened the broadcast. I listened to him earlier, and it's like you can't ask for better baseball weather.
Perfect swimming weather.
Yeah. Too. I mean, take advantage. I know the lakes, Washita, Hamilton, Norfolk, Beaver, go across. If I didn't mention yours, I'm sorry. But they've started to you want them to get that's what you want it to get hot for that reason, so you can jump in the lake and not feel like you're frigid or freezing. But man, like I said, couldn't ask for better baseball weather. Quick break. It's Hog Reaction presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Arvest Bank, and the Stadium Shop on Razorback. More coming up after this.
Here's my stuff. Try to hit it, I got the best defense behind me. So
5 strikeouts out of 6 batters for the Batesville right-hander.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Arvest Bank, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Ted McAvoy and Van Buren.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find them at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off, or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Our Best Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
0-1 to Federico. Grounded right at first base. Played up on the grass by Robinette. Does a pirouette. Throws a strike to second. The Loys return and Gackle's there. Rack him up. Perfect. 3-6-1 double play.
This is Hog Reaction.
Pitch is chopped to third. A leaping grab. Iredale steps on third for an out. The throw to first base. He got him. Rack him up. And the inning's over.
Dave Van Horn was very complimentary of Brent Iredale and Ryder Helfrich post game. And Christian, I know you were talking about that play that he made. Again, not a lot of mistakes in the infield, if at all. But that was one of the ones that the highlight plays that stood out to you during the 6-2 win.
Yeah, they hit a couple choppers. One of them kind of went over Robinette. He was holding the runner on, and I thought we were going to see another one go over Iredale, but the play he made saved at least a run and kept the game at 2-2. And it just, the offense was able to answer right after that. So it was a big play that not a lot of people are going to talk about, but it was a big moment because he needed every inch to get that ball. And step on the bag and throw
You
throw
mentioned
over
his
to first.
height being a major factor there.
I mean, it was. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, he's probably the tallest player on the team, isn't he? I would say, and if anybody else is over there, that play's probably not made.
Will in Mountain Home texting on the Lewis Automotive hotline. He is disappointed because Zach Arndt said that this baseball team would win by 20. Instead, they lose 6-2, and North Dakota State covered. It was 4.5. So
Yeah.
if you had Arkansas, I know you're like happy they won and everything, but they didn't. Hogs didn't cover for you today.
Man, that first game, I can see where Zach was kind of going. You know, Arkansas was the better team. The bats didn't really heat up today, but the better team won, and that's all that matters, getting the win. And you might see, I think you'll see some more runs from Arkansas than what you saw today as we go through the regional.
I would like to, throughout the college football season, bet against Zach and see if I can make money.
Yeah.
What he's sure about, because I know he's gone on and saying that they're going to win the national championship.
How much is he going to favor Notre Dame to beat Arkansas?
And that line will be interesting.
I bet he says at least 14.
We were asking Neil today. I want your take on this, Christian. I promise we'll get back to baseball, but we can always talk football here in Arkansas. Ole Miss game, 6 or 6:45. Bought Hemingway Stadium, week 3. What's Ole Miss going to be favored by?
Man, you know, I think they're going to...
Like 10? 9?
I would say 9.
You think it's single digits?
Yeah. Unless our first 2 games are just complete, you know what, and then Ole Miss is typical Ole Miss. They're going to put up points, but...
Play Kentucky the week before in Lexington.
I don't think it'll be another 60-something to 30 game. That's not really what this rivalry is.
For the last
typically.
5 years, it's been close. Arkansas won in 2020. They lost by 1 in 2021. They ran them almost off the field in 2022, but Ole Miss offense finally woke up. 2023 was 27-20. KJ just threw those picks, and then last year, Jackson Dart took your lunch money and beat you up. And that's the only non-competitive game or that Arkansas hasn't won in this short Kiffin-Pittman rivalry.
And it wasn't that Ole Miss's like best team ever. I guess you could say
it was one of them. I mean, it was very Hugh Freeze-esque, where they won some big time games and then they lost games that they had no business losing to. They lost to Kentucky, Florida, and I think they they lost to LSU. I think LSU came back and beat them, if I remember. Which they can't win in Death Valley. They had one there. Man, I want to say since it might have been since the 90s, early 2000s. They can't win in Death Valley. Arkansas, I think, had more success in Death Valley than Ole Miss has in that situation. All right, back to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Hog Wild and Van Buren. Very important text. Never mind the margin of victory. They won the stinking game. 6-2, just more of a...
Now, if it was a 1-0 win, I'd be a little concerned. Or maybe 2-1 win. Just because you would assume the pitching... Well, you know, them not playing for, almost 2 weeks? Or only one game in 2 weeks? I'm kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt today on why they probably didn't put up a ton of runs. But, you know, you have to win the game regardless, and that's what they did. So.
Yeah, most important thing, get out of game 1 with victory. You play at 8 o'clock tomorrow night late against either Kansas or Creighton. And it's in Bob Walker Stadium. Tommy, I mean, he made a statement a week or so ago. You won't have an away game the rest of the way. It'll be neutral side or at home. You're here this weekend, you win, you go on, you play Tennessee or Cincinnati, or maybe Wake Forest comes out after losing today here next weekend. Again, it's been a minute since you've come out of bomb to Omaha. It's been
do you
since 2019.
want to see Tennessee, or do you would prefer?
Man, I would. No, I do not want to.
I don't
see
either.
Tennessee. The thing about I know you just beat them, and I know you beat the best pitcher, maybe and not just in the SEC, but maybe in baseball in Liam Doyle. But the fact that game was as close as it was, that series was as close as it was, I know that Arkansas is the better team.
Yeah.
That was shown on the field a couple weeks ago, and that's been shown through the last 6 or 7 weeks of the season.
Baseball is weird.
Yes. I just don't like the optics of that game. Phil's and if Phil's listening right now, I know he doesn't believe in superstitions, but I am superstitious about that in a bad way. I just don't. I would much rather see the Demon Deacons.
It would be great for ratings. It would be great
Oh,
for the hog pen, but I'd much.
Well, I mean,
the Cincinnati Bearcats coming in or the Tennessee Volunteers.
Give me the Bearcats over the Vols. It's not like that Arkansas is trying to duck anyone. I mean, Dave and his staff and his team's not going to duck anyone. But just being honest, they won't have to say this publicly. I can, because I don't have any impact whatsoever on the field and the team.
Yeah.
You'd rather play a lesser team. You'd rather play Cincinnati. They're a lesser team than Tennessee. That's the team you'd rather play, or Wake Forest, or any of them. I don't. Miami of Ohio, I think, is the 4th seed in that. Take any of those. If Tennessee comes here, that's your opponent. But before we get to that, you got to win this game tomorrow night. All right, so we were talking about Brent Iredale a little bit earlier. Again, Dave Van Horn also very complimentary of Ryder Helfrich, who moved up to the 4-hole tonight. And I know some people were excited about that. Got a text earlier on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline from Cam, who's listening in Mount Ida right now. He's actually at Shangri-La and enjoying and probably enjoying some pie and good times seeing Phil Carr, Mama Carr, and the team. But here's what Dave had to say about Ryder and just what he's been seeing from him lately.
He's just swinging the bat really well. I think he's very confident, and he's athletic and he can run. We felt like, we put him at, in the 4-hole that, maybe he can steal a base or do something like he did with the bunt. But he has power as well. So just kind of gut feel, just trying to stir it up a little bit and excite him. I think he liked the fact that he was hitting cleanup.
And speaking of stirring it up, mentioned the base stealing, you haven't seen a lot of small ball from this team. Like Arkansas.
Hey, did you see the bunt, the kind of push bunt by Helfrich?
Yeah, so Helfrich does it, Thomas, and Dave kind of expanded on, if I remember correctly, Arkansas is either at the very bottom or near the bottom of
stealing.
Of stolen bases and bunts too. But again, it's in the arsenal. Here's DVH.
Well, we talked about it. We've been working on it a lot, especially the last few weeks, because we just feel like these games are going to be tight. You're going to have to lay down a bunt, sack bunt, advance runner, just kind of build a lead or try to catch up. I thought Thomas laid down a really good bunt today, and then obviously the push bunt, and showed it a couple other times. At the very least, it gets the corner guys up a little bit. Maybe you can hit it by them. So it's definitely a weapon, but it's something at this time of year, because the games are so magnified, win and loss, that you got to be able to do some of these things.
I do find it entertaining from time to time. Now, I'm just as critical as any of you occasionally, with whether it's this baseball team, previous years, but the critique of last year's team was they couldn't hit, which they couldn't. This year's team, even though they're second in the SEC, they swept the number 1 team in this conference, and they've got an all-SEC pitcher, the SEC Player of the Year, and the best batting average in the conference. There's still some wonders, but it used to be, it's like, why are we playing small ball? Why are we doing this? Why can't we hit? Well, the team has busted, are you at 111, 112 home runs now over the course of this season, which is a single season record, which they broke in Hoover. But you still need these kind of plays. You still need these moments, these instances where you do have to use a bunt. You do have to steal a base. And Christian, they just want to keep teams honest like they did with North Dakota State today.
Well, in years past, it seems like when one or two guys didn't hit, the whole offense kind of followed suit.
Yep. No, you're exactly right.
I wouldn't say we knocked the cover off the ball today, but
nope.
Cam Kozel, just him seeing the ball well was enough to win today. All it takes is one guy who can come up and get a big hit or two when you're pitching well. That's all you need, really. And they said it on the broadcast. This team can beat you in many different ways, and that's what comes to mind with me, because I didn't necessarily see Arkansas coming out today and playing small ball and not hitting the ball well.
You just give your opponent something else to think about, right?
Yeah. I didn't see that.
Yeah, and which is, again, that's what you want. You want your opposing coach, players, they got to think a million things. Like, hey, what's this kid going to do? He can hit. They got 7 guys hitting over 300. Oh, what if he lays down a bunt? Well, I got to worry about second base. So, again, another instance, another something that the opposing team and staff have to to worry about. All right, we've got one more segment. You got one more segment in you, Big C?
I got one.
Okay. Hog Reaction presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, our best bank, and the Stadium Shop on Razorback. One final segment to get to next.
Here's my stuff. Try to hit it, I got the best defense behind me. So
5 strikeouts out of 6 batters for the Batesville right-hander.
You're listening to Hog Reaction.
Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, our best bank, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call my friend J.T. Finley at 479-521-4220.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Did you get us switched over to Shelter Insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barling.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jasco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your customer buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Caymas bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. James Teague with the Teague Law Firm is back for another season on Halftime, Fridays at 12:15. Sometimes families have disputes just like baseball teams. You need someone in your bullpen to help with guardianships, adoption, and child support. The Teague Law Firm is that go-to reliever, and they can help with criminal law such as traffic offenses, DWIs, and more. Call James and the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. Online at teague-law.com. The Teague Law Firm. If they can't help you, they'll talk baseball.
He struck him out swinging.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Hog Reaction. Exclusive coverage is presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Our Best Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
0-1 to Federico. Grounded right at first base. Played up on the grass by Robinette. Does a pirouette. Throws a strike to second. Aloy's return and Gackles there. Rack him up. Perfect. 3-6-1 double play.
This is Hog Reaction.
Hey, first off, great job. Played solid baseball. They have a good team. They're solid. They're old. They know how to play. It's like I told the position players before the game, before we stretch, you just can't take anything for granted, man. You have to earn it. This time of year, you got to fight for it. You just got to take it. And today we won the game because we pitched extremely well, and we got some big hits. Big hit. We get a 2-out single, and then bang, we get a home run. 2-out double off the wall. Some good, really good clutch hits. So the best is to come, right? Be good. Get some rest tonight and play a little later tomorrow. We'll play at 8. Okay? Great job, man. I'll go 3, 1, 2, 3.
It's the best content, in my opinion, that Razorback Baseball puts out is the post-DVH chat with his team following a 6-2 victory over North Dakota State. He mentioned the pitching. Didn't give up a run after the second. They score a run in the first. They score a run in the second. And similar to the Hoover Regional, where no one scored after the second inning, or excuse me, the game in Hoover, where no one scored after the second, Arkansas's pitchers didn't allow a run for 7 innings. One of those guys, being Parker Coyle, had himself one of his best outings of the season. Apparently, he listened to Matt Hobbs after the game. It was the longest he pitched this season. Big C, here's what Parker Coyle had to say after the game involving just what he brought to the table and what he felt like was working for him.
Yeah, I mean, it felt good. Obviously, it took some time on my back and whatever, but it just feels good to be able to compete again. I love this team. Got a great group of guys, and we all kind of rally around each other, so it's really fun to play for. Yeah, I kind of feel like I had everything working for me. Cutter felt good. Was kind of locating the fastball and really just trying to bury the slider and just attack early.
So you went Jimenez, Coyle, Vitelshees, and we'll see if Root's on the mound starting tomorrow night. But you've got plenty of options for this baseball team. Might be able to use Coyle or Vitelshees. I say might. I would think maybe not Coyle. We'll see. But Sunday, a lot of guys in that situation will be like, Coach, I want to play. Like, I just, even if it's an inning, just get me out there for the setup. All right, get to some text here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Michael from Pottsville saying a win's a win. It's the postseason. Lots of nerves early, but the Razorbacks still played solid baseball. We just need to take it one game.
If I told you before the game the Hogs are going to win 6-2, you would have signed up for it
immediately.
I would have said yes.
Just wouldn't have bet on them. Just wouldn't have bet on them.
Well,
Robert and Bullshow is saying inconsistent, but a win is a win. Ryan Paragrove says, Big C, it's natty and taco time. One more segment, and it's time for some natural items.
Okay.
Some tacos.
I didn't know if you were talking about we're going to win a natty. Or...
Hopefully that's on the table, too. What are we having for dinner tonight?
Man, I don't know. Whatever the wife wants to whip up. If not, I'll probably just eat ramen noodles or something.
Okay, all right. It's on the table. Apparently, my brother just texted in. Apparently, Wright State's in the midst of a no-hitter right now. 3-0.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
3-0 in Nashville.
Isn't baseball weird? I mean, Vanderbilt wins the SEC tournament. They're playing red hot.
Number one overall seed.
So that's proof right there that winning the SEC tournament means nothing. Like,
that would be wild if the number one overall seed was beat in their own region. We saw the number one overall seed, number one overall team preseason. Texas A&M Aggies didn't even make the tournament. I think Virginia was pretty highly ranked.
Maybe they peaked.
That'd be nice.
They peaked, and there's nothing left in the tank.
Listen, I don't care about the SEC winning and continuing on that streak unless it's the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Whoever Wright State's pitcher is must be pretty good.
Wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
Wheeling and
hitter.
dealing at this point.
That ballpark?
I need to double check on that, but that's a text that was just tossed in our baseball group text. The almost. Do you still keep up with your college baseball buddies at all, or high school? Not college, but your high school baseball buddies?
Yeah, a few of them. There's always a few that you're kind of close with, and closer than others. Man, we talk baseball time to time, but you play base, and I'm not saying I have any more knowledge than anybody else, but I'm telling you, baseball was the primary sport I played, and I just know how crazy it is. And there was a lot of times where we were the better team, had the most talent, and we would still lose. We won a lot more than we lost, but that's I understand the game of baseball from that aspect. It's crazy how the game is.
And apparently I just jinxed Wright State, Christian. They took out the starter, and Vanderbilt just hit a bomb. It's now 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Hold on, Wright State.
That was the first hit. Well, it is our fault probably, but Vandy was due. I mean, come on.
The broadcaster jinx gets an underdog once again. All right, so we're just it's the waiting game. 10 minutes, Kansas and Creighton will start, then you'll know your opponent. Get an update from Arkansas baseball and who's pitching tomorrow. I'm expected to see Zach Root on my email. Could be wrong. Maybe we see Gage Wood. We got a few of his highlights here in our Hog Reaction imaging that Colton put together. Again, Hog Reaction presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley. Dooley, our best bank, and the Stadium Shop on Razorback. I wonder, with the time, the games being at 7, 8, and then we'll see if they play at 8 on Sunday, if they play the 2 o'clock game to play at 8 o'clock. Do you stay up there the whole weekend? Do you drive back and forth? I mean, you got plenty of time. Doesn't really matter where you live in the state. It's just you're leaving late. What do you do in this situation?
If I live more than 2 hours,
you're staying.
I'm staying.
Staying in Northwest Arkansas. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit in the situation. Well, just judging from being up in Northwest Arkansas for a good chunk of the week, I was up there Tuesday through today. Not going to make it the rest of the weekend. I'll be up there if they advance and play either Tennessee, Cincinnati, Wake Forest, or Miami of Ohio next week in the Supers. But a lot of people came down this weekend. We brought up John Daly earlier. Him and Cal, Darryl Walker, Coach Walker, evidently had dinner last night at Herman. Saw some pics. Shout out Nick. Shout out Carrie. I guarantee you they had some of the best food they've ever had last night. Hanging out, played golf. Place to be in Arkansas is Fayetteville this weekend with everything going on. Great weather. We were marking about that. 78 degrees is a high on May the 31st tomorrow. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You couldn't ask for better weather. It gets a little hotter on
no
Sunday.
humidity, a little breeze.
I mean, it's perfect.
It's not raining yet. I mean, it's just it's great. And to kind of get on baseball, Creighton and Kansas, they play at 7, so here in a few minutes. I hope they go 12, 13 innings tonight.
I got a text that said that exact same thing, Christian. So that's a baseball mind that is thinking alike. Just hoping the game is extended later on.
And there is a time set for LSU Little Rock, 7:30.
Okay.
So
it's not going to be 9:57
so the next game, I'm assuming, may not get started until.
What time was that game supposed to start?
I think it was supposed to start.
Was it the earlier game, like Arkansas?
I think it was supposed to start at 2 or 3, honestly.
Okay.
And so that pushed everything back in that regional.
Well, that's the setup. Just a reminder of our coverage. Pregame begins at 7 o'clock tomorrow with me and Big C, and then we'll have postgame after the fact. It's me and Big C with you all weekend long, and then we'll have whatever either early on Sunday at about. I say early, 1 o'clock on Sunday, depending on if they lose tomorrow night, or we'll be back at 7 o'clock on Sunday if they win, hoping they can get to it. And just want this team to advance to the regional or supers for the first time since 2021. And I know that for some of you it seems like a lifetime ago, but it's not like it's 4 decades or anything. didn't make it the last 2 years, fell into the trap of losing some Big 12 teams, and hopefully Kansas is not the another Big 12 team that gets the best of them. Not the best game for this team today, but pitching-wise, Dave Van Horn very complimentary of his pitching and his defense. And
here's the thing about the Big 12 now is, if you're a good team in the Big 12, it's a little skewed just because you don't have to play Texas or Oklahoma. To me, so I'm not saying Kansas couldn't come in here and win, but I'm just saying take them with a grain of salt. I think as long as the players are ready to go and they play their game, they're not going to lose. But it's all about, like Dave has said this, it's about how they play.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to minimize mistakes, pitch well. And you're the best team in this regional. You have the best pitching staff. That's what sets you apart. You don't want to get in games where your pitchers are getting hit around a little bit and you have to score a bunch of runs. That doesn't favor Arkansas, but play your game, and I think you'll do fine.
Hog Wild says that Vanderbilt was the top seed only by default. That's why they're losing right now to Wright State. Well, hopefully they can
by default.
Yeah,
okay.
Hopefully they continue to lose, and it continues.
They earned the top seed, man. They won the SEC tournament. It hasn't helped them so much today, but
yeah,
they're playing good baseball.
All right, well, that is going to do it for us here on Hog Reaction. Appreciate everyone tuning in to us across ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and our Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. We've got pregame coverage and postgame coverage for you the rest of the weekend, so make sure you stay tuned right here across ESPN Arkansas. Christian Johnson, Ty Richardson, enjoy the rest of your Friday night knowing that Arkansas, for now, is in the winner's bracket. Hopefully that continues starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow. We'll talk to y'all at 7 tomorrow night.
Here's my stuff. Try to hit it, I got the best defense behind me, so.
5 strikeouts.